we are back for a bonus episode this week, and we are going to be breaking down the cliffhanger from this week's episode of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills with the Tex, the Rinna, the Kathy of it all. And my co-host Lisa has done some investigative journalism to kind of help explain how the night went down.
I'm just putting my journalism degree to good work here. So I was so curious about the timeline of this all, of these texties, which so many of our housewives like to call them. So we see Rinna texting, and I think it was at like 12:30 a.m. or something around there. And it says, I got in the Sprinter van with Kathy. You know, she had a meltdown. She's throwing things. She's saying awful things about her sister. Then we see Kathy texting Lisa. I think it was a little bit before 1 a.m. So maybe like 20, 30 minutes have passed. And she says, silence is golden. I'm staying silent. A bunch of hearts. So that message is very cryptic to me. I'm trying to wrap my brain around what exactly happened. There were no cameras filming what went down in the Sprinter van or back at Kyle's house. And so we as the viewers are left to put this together. Now, I did go back and watch an interview that Kathy and Paris did with the E correspondent Prima Donald.
Bravo's social media director.
There you go.
Shout out.
And he asks Kathy about Aspen, and she actually brings this up.
I want to clear something up because I actually just read something. Okay. I'll give it to you first.
And almost like she's trying to get ahead of it. So what were your thoughts on that?
It must have come out, I think Rinna's texts or receipts must have come out about Aspen that day that they were promoting Paris in Love. And so she said she wants to address this. So she basically breaks down the night for us. She starts off by saying that like all these people had moved out of Kyle's house that night.
So I was staying in Kyle's basement in the bunks. There were a few little squabbles where some people moved out of Kyle's.
Which I'm questioning because we know Erica left. So does this mean that more people left Kyle's house that night? Did Rena leave?
Or was it just Kathy like misremembering because Dorit had left the rental house? And, you know, so people were swapping places and moving around. And maybe she was just kind of saying like, oh, people left Kyle's house. Because then she goes on to say that she was alone in the house.
So I was kind of left in the house by myself at one point.
And it sounds like she got scared or she was hearing noises or something.
And I started getting scared hearing all of the noise.
She was hearing noises. And see, this doesn't really add up to what Rinna says that she was hiding in her room.
Right.
So then we have Kathy saying that she's also hiding in her room. So who's going at it, making noises in the house? I don't know.
I don't know. Like, was she hearing the other women getting home? I don't know. But for whatever reason, she claims she got scared and wanted to leave the house. And she didn't know how. She couldn't find her phone.
I lost my phone, which I do.
All she had was her iPad.
But I had 10% left, no charger.
And she knows that her husband, Rick.
Now, my husband puts his phone in his office. And I know at about midnight, I thought it was whatever, he's on his iPad.
And so she thought, I'm going to message Rick on Instagram, or I'm going to get a message out to Rick on Instagram. And the only way that she knew how to do it was to post a comment on his recent post.
I knew I'd catch him by saying, call me, get me out of here.
And when that shook the Bravo universe. Like when she did that, that was the catalyst to everybody freaking out about this Aspen trip. Like what went down? What happened?
Right. And that post, Rick's post and her comment have since been deleted. But yes, it sort of set off this whole thing of like, what is happening in Beverly Hills? What's happening in Aspen? What's going on with Kathy? And so, but the way she put it in this interview with Prima Donald was that, oh, I was just trying to get out. I wanted to go to a hotel and I didn't have my phone. I didn't know who to call. I mean, we know Kathy is not the most resourceful.
I didn't know what cab company to call. I didn't know what to do.
So I guess I kind of buy that, but like it's a very odd message to send.
She also denies the screaming and throwing things.
I just read something that I was screaming and throwing things. That is not me. And I really don't like people saying something like that.
She says, that is not me. That is not how I act. And she's also saying that this all was happening like around 3 a.m., which is a good, like, what, hour and a half after these initial text messages. What happened during this hour and a half? We need to like fill in the blanks here. There's these hours that are unaccounted for.
We're like putting together a timeline like
And
a detective.
We need to get to the bottom of it.
Is Rinna just over exaggerating what happened? Like maybe Kathy was mad at something and, you know, yelled a little bit, but like, is Rinna making this out to seem like something way bigger than it actually was? Or is Kathy downplaying things in order to save face? And
my bet's on Rinna. I think she is a pot stirrer, as we've seen time after time. And also, so obviously, the elephant in the room is the rumors going around about Kathy are not good. You know, what we heard are some slurs that she supposedly said to some of the staff, as she puts it. She says that Kyle's house didn't have any staff. So I was assuming maybe it was the staff at the club, at the Caribou Club or something like that. But these text messages do not lead us to believe that. There is nothing about her saying anything derogatory to people. It's just kind of how she basically went at it with Kyle.
Okay, so here's my theory. Here's what I think really happened. I think they went to Caribou Club. I think that they got in, but I think maybe had to, you know, schmooze their way in, probably, you know, say, this is Kathy Hilton, we're filming a show, blah, blah, blah. Because Kathy was not dressed for a club.
We're going to get in.
And
oh my God.
I think it probably actually pissed her off because she acted in the car like, oh, if I don't get in, it's not a big deal. But then I can totally see once you're actually denied something and you're used to getting what you want, I can see it pissing her off.
So you think it all has to do with her outfit?
I kind of do. I think she was probably pissed off. We know that she was pissed off from earlier in the day when she felt like Kyle didn't have her back with the tequila. So she probably started going off on Kyle, and just all these things were coming out while she's, you know, in this mood.
So you believe Kathy said these things? You believe this rumor to be true?
I do think that she probably said something that she shouldn't have said.
You know, I'm going to bring some positive energy to this situation because I think that Rinna is blowing it out of proportion. I think that she has a pattern of, you know, making these things, you know, Denise's threesome that she denies.
Oh, you're so angry.
Munchausen syndrome.
True Munchausen syndrome.
I mean, she's going to take something small and blow it up and make it her storyline. And I think that's what Rinna is trying to do yet again. I am hoping that Kathy is not the person that she is being perceived to be through these online rumors. I want her to be a good person. I want her to be the Kathy that we know and love. And maybe she blew up like Erica, like Kyle, like all of the other housewives do at some point. But I hope that she didn't say these things. What I do think is kind of telling was that the BravoCon lineup did come out this week, and Rinna is noticeably absent. She is, as of now, not attending BravoCon. I think that says something. I think that she is hiding from something. I think that she is I don't know, scared of the public backlash. And I think that, Kathy showed up to the reunion. She's been on Watch What Happens Live. She's going to be at BravoCon. If she really said and did these terrible things, do you think that she would still be out here promoting, having fun, like being this, the Bravo celebrity that we know and love?
Part of me thinks yes, because she might have a good publicist that said, unlike Erica Jane,
She needs a publicist.
She
like,
needs a big time.
ASAP.
that says, just carry on like it's business as usual. And if you act like there's nothing wrong, then people will believe there's nothing wrong.
Well, I guess we'll see. I hope we do get the answers that we so desperately want and need out of next week's episode. Like, Bravo, please don't leave us hanging again. We need these answers in order. I need this in order to like keep going on with my life.
All right, you guys heard it. It's life or death.
It's life or death.
Just pray to the Bravo gods that we don't just get a big buildup for nothing.
I know. Let's get some answers.
And I want to hear everyone's thoughts on what you think really went down.
Let us know. Are you Team Rinna or Team Kathy? We've got to know.
Until next time.